how to convert a fraction into a decimal. Suppose we have the fraction 3/8 and we want to convert this into a decimal. Now, remember that every fraction is actually a division, which is 3 divided by 8. Now, you need to write this division in the long division form, or sometimes it is referred to as the bus stop method, where 3 goes inside and 8 goes outside. Why does 3 go inside? Because 3 is the dividend. 3 is being divided, it goes inside the bus stop, and 8 is the divisor, it goes outside of the bus stop. Now, how many 8s go into 3? Clearly none. It's 0, so you put the 0 there, put a decimal point there, and immediately put 3 zeros there. Now you ask yourself, how many 8s go into 30? Clearly into 30, 3 lots of 8 go into 30, because 3 times 8 is 24, and the remainder is 6. So what we do now, we bring the second 0 down. Now we ask ourselves, how many 8s go into 60? Well, clearly in 60 there are 7 lots of 8, because 7 times 8 is 56. And now the remainder is 4. And now what we do, we bring down the last 0. And we ask ourselves, how many 8s go into 40? Well, in 8 into 40, there are exactly 5 lots of 8s that go into 40 without any remainders, because 5 times 8 is 40, and as you can see here, there are no remainders. 40 take away 40 is 0, and we stop here. Suppose we have the fraction 7/5. Now, as you can see, this is an improper fraction. And now what we need to do is we need to write this in the bus stop form. So what goes inside the bus stop? Well, the dividend is the 7 and the divisor is the 5. So the dividend, which is the 7, goes inside the bus stop, and the divisor 5 goes outside of the bus stop. Now what you do, you ask yourself, how many 5s go into 7? Well, clearly 1 lots of 5 go into 7, and the remainder is 2. Now with this remainder 2, what do we do? Well, what you do now is you put a decimal there, and you put at least 3 zeros there. And the remainder 2, we carry it on to the 0. And now you ask yourselves, how many 5s go into 20? Well, in 20, there are exactly 4 lots of 5. And there aren't any remainders, so we stop here. So your answer is 7/5 is equal to 1.4. Now let's do this one, 3/7. So once again, we write this in the bus stop form, where the dividend 3 goes inside and the divisor 7 goes outside. And the first thing we do, we ask ourselves, how many 7s go into 3? Well, clearly there are no 7s go into 3, and immediately we put the decimal point there, and we put at least 3 zeros. And now what we do, we ask ourselves, how many 7s go into 30? Well, clearly into 30, there are 4 lots of 7 that go into 30. Why? Well, 7 times 4 is 28. And now you can see that the remainder will be 2, because 30 take away 28 is 2. Now what we do, we bring down the second 0 here, and we ask ourselves, how many 7s go into 20? Well, clearly there are 2 lots of 7 that will go into 20, and the remainder will be 6. And now now what we do, we bring down the last 0 over here, and we ask ourselves, how many 7s go into 60? Well, clearly there are 8 lots of 7s that will go into 60, and 7 times 8 is 56, so the remainder here is 4. Now what do we do with the remainder here? Now as you can see, this will continue. I could write down another 3 zeros here and just continue with this, but what you'll see is that this is infinite. It does not stop. It's recurring. So what we can do here is we can stop here and just round my answer to 2 decimal places. Now if I round 0.428 to 2 decimal places, it will be 0.43. 0.428. If we want to round this to 2 decimal places, we put the separation line there. And then we see what comes after the separation line. Clearly it's an 8, so 5 or more raise the score, so we raise the score, and this becomes 0.43 to 2 decimal places.